Forecast is in, and the experts say we could see the biggest algal bloom to come along in years or ever, but there is hope.
We need to hope for some dry weather.
What the prediction means for our drinking water this summer.
On high alert, why the FBI says vigilance paid off over the 4th of July.
All means all. All means all.
And the fight over same-sex marriage heads to the courthouse.
They're who we look to for protection, for our rights, and yeah, that was a total letdown.
City making a big change, but some say it's only a temporary fix.
Well, it could be the biggest algal bloom yet. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 13 Minutes of Nonstop News. I'm Diane Larson.
And I'm Lee Conklin. Thanks for joining us. The new prediction for 2015 indicates the western Lake Erie harmful algal bloom season will be among the most severe in recent years.
But here's the thing, that may not affect our drinking water, and what's more, the experts say our water right now is safe. Researchers at Stone Lab unveiled the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's algal bloom prediction, and they predict it'll be the biggest one since the record-setting bloom in 2011. So at this point, what's more important is where the bloom forms.
Where a certain area of toxicity is so dependent upon the local weather at a given point in time. So we can't say that it's going to be toxic over the drinking water intake, for instance, versus somewhere over around the islands or up in Canada.
Why is the bloom expected to be so big? The experts say the heavy June rains caused heavy nutrient runoff into the lake basin. The farm runoff is full of phosphorus.
You're like a little algae, you're a little tiny thing, and if you have lots of phosphorus around you that's easy to get, you're going to grow much better than if it's less dense phosphorus.
While the weather made things worse, it could make things better, mainly if July winds blow the bloom far from the water intake. But if the wind blows the wrong way, Toledo's ready.
They do not need to worry about their drinking water at this point. The communities are prepared. They're very well prepared this year. We have let the state and all the public water suppliers know about what we expect.
And while the water is safe to drink, the experts say if you are going out boating, try to avoid breathing in the spray or getting it on you.
All right, there's some good news tonight. Rain's out and tracking some dry weather now.
13 Minutes of Nonstop News continues now with Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbeck. Jay?
Diane, the rain is gone. Viper HD shows it well to our south and east now, south of the Ohio River, so rest easy the next couple of days. But the 1 to 2, even 2.5 to 3 inches of rain we got has allowed the rivers in some spots to rise just a bit. Here's the latest on that minor river flooding. We have 3 rivers right now at flood stage, but they're barely there. First of all, the Portage River at Woodville, 9.26 feet, just above flood stage of 9 and falling later on tonight. The Auglaize River at Fort Jennings, that too just above flood stage here at 14.45 feet, also falling later on tonight. How about the Tiffin River at Stryker? That too, just above flood stage here at 11.46 feet, and like the other rivers, falling later on tonight. So just some minor issues there along the rivers. Your forecast here, the 13-hour forecast for tomorrow. Unlike today when we are tracking the rain moving in, tomorrow looking completely dry, partly to mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, and a warmer high up near 80. More on that chance of any weekend rain in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
All right, Jay, thank you. Well, more rain means more basement flooding across the region. Homeowners turning to disaster cleanup companies for help. One woman we talked with said her sump pump failed more than a week ago. Water rushed into her house. Now the cleanup is on, and it's important to remember, make sure you find a reputable company.
If you don't remediate it correctly, quite honestly, it could affect the entire house. And most people's furnaces are in the basement. So, of course, with mold and the furnace kicking on, it could pull in those mold spores and throw it throughout your house.
Just about every relief and restoration company we spoke with say they've seen a huge spike in business the last few weeks. Be up to the minute you're up, beginning at 4:30 tomorrow morning. The entire team, Jeff, Sasha, Bill, and Nicole, only on 13 ABC Action News. Good morning.
A new order was signed today allowing only the presiding judge to perform marriage ceremonies in Lucas County. This after Judge C. Allen McConnell refused to marry a same-sex couple earlier this week. And today, members of the LGBT community and supporters held a rally in front of Toledo Municipal Court. 13 ABC's Amy Montgomery was there and has more on what their message was. Amy?
Diane, they stood to show support for what the couple that is that had to wait for their ceremony, but they also talked about that new order. Most are happy that it was signed, but say it's only a temporary fix to a bigger issue. It's been a whirlwind 2 weeks for members of the LGBT community. First, a landmark decision from the U.S. Supreme Court, but this week, a small setback.
We're here to show our support for the couple who that was denied the same-sex marriage after the law passed.
And I'm just overwhelmed with the positive vibes and the support I have from my community.
Monday, Toledo Judge C. Alan McConnell wouldn't marry Carolyn Wilson and her now wife because of his personal Christian beliefs. It's one reason why dozens gathered on the sidewalks of Toledo Municipal Court.
We just want all municipal court judges to do the job that they're supposed to do, and they're supposed to be impartial.
The law was passed and it should be upheld.
Crowd signs and speeches reflected those feelings.
All means all. All means all.
This after a temporary order was signed calling for the presiding judge to perform all marriages. Up to this point, it was the duty judge's job to do that. This means Judge McConnell likely won't be required to perform them. The move was well received, but still drew questions.
And that is what is ultimately really important.
Sure.
But I think that it's just a temporary fix.
I hope it doesn't mean that she's excusing anyone from their duties and responsibilities under the law.
Judge McConnell is still waiting to hear from the Supreme Court whether he can opt out of the rotation. But for now, this crowd will celebrate the support they continue to get from the community.
Lots of people believe that marriage equality is important and that community leaders stand behind us.
In Toledo, Amy Montgomery, 13 ABC, Action News.
New video tonight showing a rollover crash on I-75. This was the scene at the 475 split just after 5 o'clock. Toledo police tell us the driver of an SUV lost control and rolled the vehicle. Dispatchers couldn't tell us if anybody was hurt.
In our crime and safety alert tonight, a man accused of robbing a woman in a wheelchair is now behind bars. Police arresting this man, Kyle Arnold, late this afternoon. Police say he covered the victim with a blanket, pushed her, and then stole her purse. Teenager from Toledo is recovering after an accidental shooting. We're following this story with our media partner, The Blade. The 16-year-old reportedly lit a .38 caliber round with a lighter, went off, and hit him in the arm yesterday afternoon on Thurston Street.
Oregon Police Chief Mike Navarre playing a big role in deciding when and if officers across the state should use deadly force. Navarre is the only police chief on the Ohio Collaborative Community Police Advisory Board. We told you about this last night. The group met for the first time yesterday. Today, we talked to Chief Navarre about his role.
We've discovered that there are a lot of police departments throughout the state that don't have a standard for use of force.
Okay.
It's hard to believe, but it's true.
The chief said most police agencies in Northwest Ohio do have deadly force standards.
New tonight, Ohio prisons are having some trouble finding drugs used for lethal injections. State prison director says no one's willing to sell them. Federal ruling does allow Ohio to import the drugs, but no executions are actually scheduled for this year.
New tonight, the FBI says it thwarted ISIS terror plots linked to the 4th of July. According to Bureau Director James Comey, the Islamic State planned to kill people in the U.S. Now, he wouldn't talk about the number or the nature of the plots, but Comey says they involved suspects recruited on American soil.
New details on a massive hack involving millions of Americans. Authorities say hackers ripped off Social Security numbers, health histories, and other highly sensitive data from more than 21 million people. The Obama administration says these hackers accessed the Office of Personnel Management's database. Information includes anyone who applied for government clearances. Government says is not saying at this point who was behind the attack.
A schizophrenia expert testified today in the case against theater shooter James Holmes. The doctor says Holmes was insane when he shot and killed 12 people inside a Colorado movie theater back in 2012. 70 others were hurt. Holmes pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Immigration opponents are calling for changes after a deadly shooting in San Francisco. Police say the man who shot and killed a woman was a convicted felon in the country illegally and had been deported 5 times.
A historically black college in southwest Ohio says it's considering changing the name of the building named for comedian Bill Cosby. President at Central State University says new details about Cosby have the school rethinking the namesake. As we've reported earlier this week, newly unsealed documents show Cosby admitted to getting sedatives, Quaaludes specifically, to give to women for sex.
The Confederate flag at the South Carolina State Capitol is coming down. Governor Nikki Haley signed a bill this afternoon that will remove it tomorrow. A gunman posed with the Confederate flag before shooting and killing 9 black people in a church in Charleston.
After the families embraced the shooter and demonstrated a kindness and love that I can't even imagine, representing my state better than I could ever hope to, the flag had to come down, and thank God it has.
A ceremony to pull down the flag is set for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, the company behind an ice bag featuring the Confederate flag is changing its logo. The owner says Walmart called and told him to redesign the package or the corporation would pull the product. The Iowa-based company says it will change because Walmart is a huge client.
Turning now to your vote. In the wake of that deadly church attack in South Carolina and police shootings across the country, Republican Senator Rob Portman has assembled a panel of black community leaders to advise his re-election campaign. Portman will turn to the committee on a number of urban issues, including police relations. And that race between Portman and Democratic challenger Ted Strickland is expected to be a very expensive one. According to our media partner, The Blade, Strickland raised about $1 million in the last 3 months. Portman raising close to $3 million. Experts say this could be one of the most pricey Senate campaigns in the country.
In tonight's Consumer Alert, the Delta Air Facebook page is claiming that Delta and Virgin Atlantic are giving away 400 free first-class tickets to be used anywhere United flies. To enter, you have to send a photo of a ticket like a certain page and then comment, "Thank you." But Delta's official Facebook says it's a fake, and the tip-off is that the page said Delta was giving away free tickets for United flights. Greece is working to get itself out of debt. Greek leaders pushing several proposals, that is, including raising the sales tax and cutting pensions. In exchange, the country is asking for a €53 billion bailout. European leaders are set to consider the proposals at a summit on Sunday. And the U.S. Army making some big cuts. Today, the Pentagon said 6 U.S. bases will each cut some 1,200 soldiers. The plan will reduce the Army's active duty force by about 40,000 over the next 2 years. The Army will slash its civilian workforce by 17,000.
New at 11, here's a look ahead of what's in tomorrow's editions of The Blade. Lucas County Common Pleas Court judge sentenced a former Lucas County corrections officer to the maximum term of 18 months in prison for sexually assaulting a woman to whom he had given a ride home from jail last summer. Plus, Fallen Timbers Community Church Youth Group canceling a squid soccer match that was planned for the youth group's Sunday meeting. Amid online criticism, the event was cruel and in poor taste. You can read more about these and other stories in tomorrow's edition of The Blade and at ToledoBlade.com.
A Maumee facility is celebrating its new name. Swan Point Care Center is now Addison Heights Health and Rehabilitation Center. Earlier today, the facility held an open house. The director tells 13ABC the goal is to get the name back in the community and introduce new staff.
I think it's important because we need to get our name out in the public, and if we need to let them know that we are the new Addison Heights and we're here to help them, and we want the community to know that we're here to help the community also.
Addison Heights is open 24 hours a day. And the UT Lake Erie Center is warning that area honeybees won't be so busy this year. That's because colony numbers are falling. Representatives from the Maumee Valley Beekeepers Association talked about the importance of the insects.
13 minutes after 11, much more ahead tonight on Action News. Caught on camera trying to help someone else, a trooper hit.
The Adopt a Highway program, why the KKK wants to be part of it.
Plus, got to be the shoes. Crooks going to great lengths to get their hands on some Jordans.
Those stories, plus Jay says it'll be dry enough to cut the grass tomorrow. Part of the weekend, though, could be a different story. We're back in just 35 seconds.
This is 13ABC Action News with Diane Larson and Lee Conklin. Now, 13ABC First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jay Vershbach.
Well, we have more mayflies than rain showers on radar, so that's something good compared to earlier today. This, of course, live Doppler 13,000 HD. Large batch of green here. Bugs, this little batch of green, that's some very light rain or drizzle over the Sandusky Bay, but otherwise, the next 48 hours, if not a bit longer, are looking dry. Here's the weather in motion showing the rain that came through earlier today, pushing off to our east, and this rain down here in Missouri that'll slide south of us for tomorrow. How about today's numbers? Another day where we were well below average, 69 the high, 62 your low, and there's the rainfall at the airport. Impressive indeed. 1.87 inches of rain. Now, some estimates around us. Been getting information from viewers like you and from the Weather Service this evening. Some of these areas in the darker green, like Fulton County, Williams County, also west of Findlay, and then just south of Fremont eastward. Some of these areas, 2 to 3.5 inches of rain. So that 2+, I know it's a little bit of a broad brush there, but very difficult to make a specific map here with all the numbers for all the viewers at one time. So just pockets of heavy rain. Toledo again, just under 2 inches of rain, but that's now behind us. So that's the good news. They did get the ball game in tonight. This is Fifth Third Field as they make the field all purty. 66 is the current temperature with mainly cloudy skies and light winds for tonight and light winds for tomorrow. Temperatures are in the 60s except for that one spot. Always one exception, right? That's Port Clinton right now at even 70. Let's go into the future. And unlike yesterday, not much green on our radar. This is the predictor by the hour radar. Here's our forecast for tonight. Some haze out there and light fog. For tomorrow, partly sunny skies. It's not going to be a completely blue sky, but at times some peaks of sunshine. And don't worry about the green you're seeing here. This is 6 p.m. It is looking dry through the evening. Tomorrow night, clearing skies, comfortable temperatures, and warmer for Saturday. It's still the pick day of the weekend. Bright sunshine, dry with highs in the 80s. How about your forecast tonight? 59, becoming partly cloudy and hazy, if not a little bit foggy in spots. Here's tomorrow's hourcast, a high back near 80, but with a very light westerly breeze. You folks that live near the lakeshore know that lake breeze will kick up, so about 5-10 degrees cooler if you're visiting the lakeshore or if you live there or the islands. So very comfortable, but not chilly. Here's your 7-day forecast. Let's start with the weekend. Bright sunshine for Saturday. Again, your pick day is there. Sunday, not quite as beautiful with more showers and storms. Right now, the indication on rain, about a ½ inch to an inch expected through Sunday night. With the rain, with the cloud cover, more humidity too. So like today, feel the humidity today? Well, think of that plus about 15 degrees. So a little less comfortable for exercise or working outside. Even warmer Monday with a chance of showers and storms, 88. Tuesday, 85, still a decent chance for some scattered storms. Drying out Wednesday, 80, and dry Thursday, again near 80. So we turn things over here to summer-like conditions after a couple of almost fall-like days with highs not even hitting 70 for 2 straight days in the month of July.
Not anymore, looking at that.
It is. In a couple days, again, for things to dry out before we have more rainfall Sunday, but we'll update that the next couple of days. All right. Let's focus on the positive.
There you go.
Okay.
All
Do
right,
it.
Jay.
All right, Jay, bring your hearty appetite tomorrow, huh?
I will.
13
Yummy,
ABCs,
yummy.
you bet. 13 ABC's This Is Home Festival Friday celebrates Toledo's cultural heritage with polka, pierogies, and all things Polish. Jay will be out forecasting from the annual LaGrange Street Polish Fest from 5 to 6:30 tomorrow. Festival kicks off tomorrow, run through Sunday, one of the great summertime Toledo traditions. All the proceeds going right back into the community. Still to come on Action News tonight, beach trip turned nightmare. A selfie stick's the source of the scare and the rescue.
And the Michigan custody battle, it's the kids in hot water with the judge.
And a little bit later, some Pirates of the Caribbean down under. All part of the goodwill plan for Jack Sparrow.
First, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers from your official lottery station, 13 ABC.
Three young Michigan siblings could spend years in juvie because they didn't want to spend time with Dad. This trio reportedly violated a court order to spend time with their father. Mother won't comment, but Dad says it's her fault.
A robbery in Texas turned violent after the crooks tried to steal a man's shoes. Take a look. 2 men started attacking the man on the ground. One of them took the victim's Air Jordans. Then 2 women showed up with a bat and chased the men away. The man did get his shoes back.
Family trip to the beach turned into a rescue mission in Massachusetts. Daughter was trying to take a picture with her selfie stick when a rip current caught her. See her dad here reaching for help. He grabbed the selfie stick and pulled her to shore. Moments later, the tide swept his wife away. Witnesses rushed in to save her. No one seriously hurt.
We have a newly released 911 call from a driver who witnessed a Utah State trooper get run over.
An officer was hit. An officer was hit? Officer hit, yes.
You can also see another car slam into the vehicle on the side of the road. That trooper now recovering from a broken back, broken legs and ribs. He also suffered a punctured lung.
Georgia Appeals Court is deciding whether the Ku Klux Klan can actually join a state adopt-a-highway program. Last year, a judge ruled in the group's favor, but the state appealed that decision. The Klan says it was singled out because of its views, but the state says approving the Klan for the program would negatively impact Georgia's quality of life.
Coming up in sports, LeBron James signs a new contract with the Cavaliers.
Plus, a rainy day over at Highland Meadows will tell you how they're getting the course ready for next week's Marathon Classic.
13 ABC Action Sports teaming up with BCSN. Now, here's Dave Holmes.
Before the Tigers can catch the Royals, you have to catch the Twins first, right? Climb up that ladder. Chance to come a game closer of second place tonight in Minnesota. 8th inning tie game. Ian Kinsler with the longest possible non-homer you'll ever see. Top of the wall, they rule it a double. Run scores to give the Tigers a 3-2 edge. Next batter is Yoenis Cespedes. He doubles his pleasure down the line. Kinsler scores. Tigers go on to win 4-2. Indians trying to win 3 of 4 at home against the Astros. Bottom of the 6th inning. Houston up 1-0, but Francisco Lindor hits his second home run of his young career. Game tied. 2 batters later, Ryan Rayburn doubles down the left field line. Rayburn batting cleanup tonight. Let that sink in for a second. Indians take the lead 2-1. Still in the 6th. Carlos Santana gets a hold of it. Not strong enough to leave the yard, but it takes a funky bounce off the wall, and Santana hustles all the way to third for an RBI triple. Indians playing well. They win 3-1. They take the series 3-1. Mud Hens playing the Clippers for the 6th straight day. First inning, Jose Ramirez rips a liner to right, give him 2 bases. Run scores, Columbus up 1-0. They put 2 more on the board in the 5th. Zach Walters hits it where the fielders ain't allowed. Mud Hens lose 6-1. Finally, a new opponent tomorrow. They'll play the Louisville Bats. LeBron James is re-signing with the Cavaliers. 2-year deal worth $46.9 million. First year is guaranteed. The second year is LeBron's choice. He'll most likely rip this contract up and sign a new one next year. Once that salary cap goes up, he can get a 5-year deal worth over $200 million. 1 week from today, the opening round of the Marathon Classic. Teenager Lydia Ko back to defend that title. Busy week of preparation for the staff, but it's tough to get the course ready when the rain won't stop. Today they got almost 3 inches of rain at Highland Meadows. No reason, though, to worry.
It has to be ready. There's no choice. So it will be ready. You know, we have a lot of sunlight here. If we need to, we can bring lights in for the workers to work during the night. It'll get done.
And we're doing some pumping back behind us and kind of let Mother Nature take as much as she can away. And then we will head out and try to get the rest of the water off of the golf course.
Make sure you join us the night before the tournament begins next Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's the Northwest Ohio Chevy Dealers Marathon Classic Tee-Off Show. Interviews with the best golfers, fun stuff planned. We might just let this music play the entire half hour, too. It's soothing. If you want to go to the Big House and watch the Wolverines play the Buckeyes, you're a little too late. Today, Michigan announced it already sold out the Ohio State game and the Michigan State game. There are still tickets left for the Wolverines' other 5 home games, and they have that dynamic ticket structure where the better games are more money. So everyone said, we'll plunk down $115 a ticket for those.
That is dynamic.
That's what they call it. I don't know, to the buyer it's not dynamic.
I remember the day when all the games were sold out.
It's a bitter time.
I remember back when I was a boy, they used to sell it out.
Just win. Just win.
All right, we're back with more in a moment.
Dry overnight. Final check of your forecast here, upper 50s. Tomorrow, a nice day. Some clouds building, but we'll stay dry. The rain just missing south of us and a little warmer with highs back up near 80. The weekend starts off great Saturday. Sunday, though, find the rain gear once again. Highs this weekend, mid-80s.
Easy to find. All right, Jay, thank you. Finally tonight, celebrity walks the plank, all to help kids in the hospital.
Take a look at this. Johnny Depp put back on his Jack Sparrow costume and headed to a children's hospital in Australia.
Depp and Stephen Graham, who played Scrum, landed on the roof in a helicopter, all thanks to the Children's Hospital Foundation. Very, very nice. We're back tomorrow at 11 right here on 13 ABC.
For Lee Conklin, Jay Burschbeck, Dave Holmes, and all of us here, I'm Diane Larson. Have a good night.
The only Doppler in Toledo keeps you safe 24/7. Live Doppler 13,000 HD, only on 13 ABC.